Welcome to Nature's Wild Playground. Today we are going to start our seeds, and we are going to do a different method for our tomatoes so that way our root base gets good and sturdy, and I'm going to show you how to do that. My son is going to be here helping me with today. So we are going to work on 4 different types of peppers. Oh, there's only 3 right now. Oh, there is 4 in my hand right now. And we got 5 different tomatoes, our sugar baby watermelons, jalapenos for salsa. There's another watermelon we're going to start, Louisiana okra, New England sugar pie pumpkins, and our spaghetti squash. So let's get this rolling. We are going to be using a Miracle-Gro potting mix to start our seedlings. The reason being, we are going to do it this way instead of using the seeding, what is that called, Dee?
Seed starter.
Seed starter potting soil, is because we want our plants to be used to the soil that we are going to be using outdoors in our garden this year. All we're going to do is use red Solo cups, and we went and trimmed a little hole here, and over here for drainage. If you do not want to do that, you can always take a drill and drill a hole through the bottom of these and get the same result for drainage. Oh, let me get a little bit of soil over here. Oh, there's a leaf in there. That won't hurt any. Well, it'll decompose. Alright, so we got that cup. You got about 1/2 inch from the top of that cup. And I'm going to tear in a little corner in these so that way we don't go overboard with opening our package. And I'm just going to place the seed like that. Space them out a little bit. That way if one doesn't grow, then that's okay. There's no problem there. So these seeds have to be 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. So take my soil and cover those up, and we're good on that. So that's how we do our watermelons. Now I'm going to go ahead and write sugar baby on these. And the date is 3/10. And we're going to write the letter H on this cup. The reason being why we wrote the letter H on this cup is because it's a heirloom seed, and I will be showing you how to save your seeds at the end of the season. So we're going to go ahead, plant some more of those, and these are the same depth, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So we're going to set those aside, and him and I will be planting those together. So our tomatoes, we have a great white, sweetheart cherry, German pink, and mortgage lifter. Now we're going to fill our cup. Oh, that one's broke. A little bit more than halfway full on this, but not too much.
Are you writing what plants they are?
Yes, I already wrote on them.
Okay.
always good to have a second set of eyes just in case.
It sucks to forget that.
Yes, it would suck to forget that.
I did
Standing there
that a
going,
few times.
what was in that cup again? You definitely don't want to do that, make that mistake. Turn that light on so that helps a little bit. Shake our seed down there in the bottom. A little pair of scissors don't hurt any neither. Separate this a little bit.
She get out of too?
Huh? Yeah. DJ just went to go get her. So as tiny as these seeds are, we're only going to go halfway. Let me empty a little bit of that dirt. Oops. That's alright. So that way, when your tomato seed starts growing and you have the bottom leaves on this tomato, which I will show you in a different video, that will take a little bit of time to do, because we're going to record the whole process of doing this. I'm going to cover up those 2 tomato seeds, and they have to be 1/8 of an inch. Deep. So once you spray water on these, the soil is going to go and it is going to settle down, so not too worried about that. So we're gonna go and do all of our tomatoes like that. It might help if I turn them the right damn way. So I'm gonna go ahead, let's see, we'll label this one so I don't forget which one it was. So I've already got that mixed in. Cross out this blueberry plant on here. That way we know. The right mortgage lifter on here. .310. Mark it with an H, because that is a heirloom seed. And set that aside. Now we have our spaghetti squash, pumpkin, okra, and all of our peppers. Which we're only going to do a couple of the hot peppers because my son is about the only one that's going to be eating them.
They're perennials.
Yes. I did have a dispute with my son about peppers being perennials. And he was right. So, you learn all different kinds of things no matter how old you are. I learned that from one of my residents, although I already knew that, but she had a really good point. So, we're going to fill this one up with dirt and we'll see how deep this has to be. Oh, 1/4 of an inch. Let's see, that one has to be 1/4 of an inch too. Alright. Seed depth is very important. Reason being is you want your seeds to come up. You plant them too deep, they're not going to come up. Trust me. I did that with dill. Turn this light off. There's a glare.
You don't always want to go with what the seed packet recommends. If it's a smaller seed, you plant it more shallow.
So we're going to go ahead and unstrip this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plant our jalapenos. We're not going to do too many of these. Like I said, he's mainly going to be the only one eating these, so we want about 2 plants each because they're quite a bit of a producer, and we're going to use these for salsa too, so it's always a plus. So put that seed right there. So we got 1 seed in there. If I can get these cups apart, oh my goodness. Why I just did that is beyond me, but I did. Oh well. Got a little bit more soil in this cup. The best time is when you make a mess. So we got both of those seeds in there. You can either use a pencil or a permanent marker. Push it down just a little bit. What I found handy is marking a pencil with inches, quarters, so on. I use a square pencil. I like my square pencils, especially for drawing, but they do come in handy. So I'm gonna go ahead, set these two aside. I will label these later so I don't bore you, because you basically get the concept on how to label your plants. You can do these in little containers, seed cells, all kinds of things like that. Alright. Get that stick out of there. We don't need those sticks in there. Now next is our okra. I chose to start this inside because we live in zone 5. Which, what do we get, about 3 months of growing season?
Roughly 4.5.
Oh. Well, we don't have a lot of produce, so we start most of this stuff inside. Let's see how long and how deep these have to be. Inch to a half an inch.
Yeah, because you start them in April, which is 4 or 5 months.
And let me get my ruler real quick. Oops, drop my pencil. Alright. You can always go with your eraser. So, that has a helping hand in that atmosphere too. I'm going to set those aside. Oh, the hell with it. Let's go with our spaghetti squash. I may as well. This one is not a heirloom, so you definitely want to mark it. Got this one from Tractor Supply. Most of my seeds came from Baker's Creek. Wow. These seeds don't want to come out. There we go. We got a little hole now. I'm going to grow these up a trellis this year. And you use pantyhose to secure your squash, your watermelon, anything you want to climb up, you can secure that way to make more room in your garden. Which I'm definitely doing this year because I got a lot to can this year, and it's gonna come in handy doing that way. Alright.
Or a way that's more money efficient, you use a trellis nut.
Trellis nut? Yeah, trellis nut would work really well.
Because they're tear proof.
He's very intelligent. So there's that seed. So we're gonna set this one aside as well. I got a few more of those to plant, so let's work on our New England sugar pie pumpkins, a traditional New England variety offered by Fearing Burr in 1863. Orange fruit, weighs about 4 to 5 pounds, have fine sweet flesh, superb for pies. I do have to agree because we've made a lot of pie pumpkins, or pumpkin pie out of these And we definitely enjoy them. Oop, I got one too many for right now.
They're way better than store-bought.
Yeah, way better. Anything's better than the store-bought shit. In my opinion. A lot healthier. You know what's going into your plant when you're organic gardening. And we will be doing organic gardening this year too. So don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So that way you can see what we are going to be doing with that. That seed gets planted a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Remember, we measured our erasure earlier. And we're just going to push that right down into the soil and cover it up. Now I got to find my spray bottle. Whatever I did with that. What did I do with my spray bottle, guys?
Hello.
Oh. Alright, DJ's got my spray bottle. You want to fine mist these. You don't want to straight stream. Because what you're going to do over time is beat the daylights out of your little seedlings. And it's not going to be able to handle that. We are going to hook up a fan where we are setting these. So that way it replicates wind. And
if you pour the water in them, then the seeds are gonna float to the top.
Yes, they will. So with the fan replicating the wind, it's gonna make your stems a lot stronger and more sturdy. DJ's over there hacking his head off, and we're laughing at him. So we're going to show you our lighting system and what we chose to use this year. Go ahead.
They're both LED lights. They're more efficient than HPS and CFL. And they're cheaper and more money efficient. And so Merge Hydro is the best, in my opinion. There's there's a few out there that are really expensive, but I don't know. No need for that.
So about how much did this one run now?
This one was $300, and that one was $120.
Okay. So what's the difference between it?
That one's 220 watts, and this one is 300 watts, but it's got a dimmer on it. And it's 40% usable for the plants, and sunlight is 60, I do believe. Maybe 80, but I want to say 60.
Oh, goodness, that's bright.
And that's pretty much that.
So that is our lighting system that we are going to be using. And down below, don't mind my books. I have books all over the house. We have it hooked up to a timer down there and a surge protector. We're also going to be putting some kind of box or something to raise the level on these plants. The reason being, if your when your tomato plants start growing, you don't want them to be leggy, as they call it. So getting them closer to the light so they don't have to fight for the light will also help strengthen up their stems for each plant, mainly your tomato plant.
Yeah, and especially if you have a fan on, that helps out a lot, because all plants get weak if they don't have no wind. Yes,
they do. Which we will be hooking up our small fan right here on one of these bars, so that way when they do start coming up, we can start doing a light breeze for them. We'll set it on number 1 and then go up from there, because up here in New York we do get quite a bit of wind. So that is what our solution is for the wind. Now for a drip tray, you can just use the cookie sheet if you choose to, or you can use the cookie sheet and a baker's rack, so that way they're not sitting in constant water if they do get overwatered.
And when you put them outside, they have to have 2 weeks to adjust to it, an hour every day. And then you just leave them outside and go by that. And if you just put them outside right away, you'll shock them and sometimes you kill them. The best way is to get them used to the sunlight and adjust it.
A little bit, about an hour for what?
An hour for the first day and 2 hours, and if they start getting stressed out, then personally I like to back it up a half an hour or two and then go from there. And they actually get used to sunlight really quick. It takes like 4 or 5 days, and then you can start really giving them a lot of hours.
Okay, so thanks for watching Nature's Wild Playground. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.